Now let's look at our first incident, Andy. Right, Everton's Michael Keane had a goal chalked off at nothing, nil each against Fulham when James Tarkowski was adjudged to have pushed Bernd Leno, who dropped the ball. Contact at the very least was minimal, and by the way, it wasn't caused by Tarkowski for me.
Not at all.
And the Toffees, obviously, as we know, went on to lose 1-0. This was Sean Dyche's take on the incident.
Bizarre one to me. I don't know why that's not given. The keeper clearly, there's no deliberate impeding from our player. He's just literally stood his ground. The keeper takes it above his head, drops on top of him and drops it on his head. I mean, I don't know what he's meant to do about it. He can't do anything about it, quite obviously.
Right. I think there's a little bit of a difference. I'm not sure. Do you think this is a case of the keeper being overprotected, or do you just think it's a basic error?
No, I think goalies for years have got away with stuff. It's always been a bit of a bone of contention of mine. A goalie can come flying out to punch a ball, clout everybody along the way, catch him with half a fist, get a bit of the ball, and get away with it, right? And then you go near a goalie, sometimes challenging, and you nudge the arms or whatever, and they get the benefit of that. They get the free kick. That one at the weekend, Ali, it's a joke decision. That is Bernd Leno has caught that above Tarkowski's head, and then on the way down, he's lost it. He's dropped it.
Am I right in saying though, and correct me if I'm wrong, that goal can't be given because the referee has blown for a foul? I mean, there's no way VAR. I think I'm correct in saying VAR can look at that, but there's nothing they can do about it because the referee's
if he's blown the whistle, the game has stopped effectively before Michael Keane has put the ball in the back of the net.
So therefore, you know, nothing to do with VAR. That's just that's a refereeing error, in my opinion.
Oh, and it was that's, you know.
I thought Sean Dyche took it really, really well.
Well, yeah,
because I don't love it.
But you know, again, I do think that sometimes the goalies, and when they come flying out, then they do often, more often than not, get the benefit against outfield players in those situations. And I think sometimes, particularly this one we've seen at the weekend, they've got it horribly wrong. And it is an unbelievable ref moment. It really was.
Well, he's not moved. I mean, Tarkowski has not moved. All he's done is stand his ground.
No.
He's come down and he's dropped the ball on. I think it was against his arm, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
And Kane knocks it into.
Apparently Bernd Leno had a good game. Apparently he made some big saves. Had to make some good saves.
Well, he did. Everton should have scored.
Yeah.
But he made one or two good saves. Now, another one. One of the new directives this season is to book players more freely for dissent towards match officials.
Yep.
James Maddison was yellow carded in his Spurs debut by Rob Jones, but the midfielder, he was a bit confused as to why.
Well, I had a little chat with him at half time, and he was pretty open. He felt that I was a little bit too aggressive, but wasn't the case at all. I was just asking a question and didn't raise my voice. And he already had the card out. And it just seemed very easy to just wave it my way as well. They're trying to stamp down. I understand that, and we don't want that at all. We don't want players throwing their arms at referees and crowding, but a bit of dialogue keeps the players happy, keeps us understanding. So,
now I don't mind it. Right, before we get into this, I actually don't mind it, because I tell you right now, as a manager or a coach, one of the most frustrating things is losing players through suspension, particularly when it's dissent. Right, when it's dissent, and I know it's the hardest thing in the world. Just turn around, shut your mouth and go on. It is. So I don't mind referees taking a stance. Also, the one that I thought they got right at the weekend was it the booking of Enzo. Was it when he got fouled and he's brandishing an imaginary yellow card?
And Alexis McAllister. Was it where I felt a bit sorry for him, McAllister. Yeah, he went. He kind of got. I'm not sure if it was Conor Gallagher who fouled him. I can't remember exactly which Chelsea player it was. Perhaps someone will tell us. But McAllister ends up sort of getting fouled. And it was a deliberate sort of foul to stop him from progressing. It was a blatant foul. Now, no yellow card for the Chelsea player. Mm-hmm. Only the yellow card for McAllister because he was sat on the floor.
Correct.
And he's giving it that one, like the imaginary card.
Yes.
But I still think the player that committed the foul, Ali, surely that should still be a yellow card for some. And I don't think I saw that.
Do you think one of the problems, Andy, and this might be just looking at it too easily, do you think one of the problems is there's no longer a kind of relationship between players and referees? But I mean, I not want to turn the clock back too far, but back in the day,
yes,
you could have a conversation with the referee as long as it was respectful. You could have a laugh. Is that the case? Is it going?
I think it's such a multinational game as well now, so it's not always easy for certain players to communicate. That is the one way that people communicate across the globe,
I know.
waving an imaginary flag when you feel hard done by. So I totally get and totally understand. I think we all support the fact that we don't want to see that, because it is annoying and it is a bit unnecessary when people do that. However, we mustn't lose sight of the initial foul as well. And I think we've got to make sure that those that actually brought a player down are also brought to task and maybe get a yellow card themselves.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.